The Futurist Mindset, featuring Hidden Treasure Villa and Spa Resort and Fifth Avenue Capital. Hello, everyone. My name is Tessa. Before we dive into the show, I'd like to introduce our host, Reagan Rodriguez. Hi, Reagan.
Hello, Tessa. How are you doing?
Lovely. Fridays are always amazing. I mean,
Yes, they are.
especially when we get to cover a really cool place to visit. But before I do that, I want to introduce Regan. He's a futurist that teaches stratosphere wealthy legacy families how to become impact investors. So, and that's the Fifth Avenue side of you, right?
Yes.
But you have many people that you help and in the investment arena. And today we have a special guest, Barry,
We do.
over there with Hidden Treasure. So nice to have you here, Barry.
Nice to be here.
Well, I'm going to let you two chat about this awesome project, and I'll be back. If you are watching us live,
Mhm.
we are actually keeping an eye on the comments. So feel free to ask questions. Sometimes we have questions about the projects that we're talking about. Sometimes they're questions specifically for Regan. So feel free to add your comments. We love having you here, and hashtag live if you're catching the live, or hashtag replay. So we know if we've got people in different time zones, we might be able to find some ways to share this out to more people. So I'll let you guys chat.
Thank you, Tessa, for
Thank
again
you.
warm introduction there. So yes, I've known Barry for a while. I remember after we had our first or second Zoom meeting, he actually flew to Miami. We got together in my office in Coral Gables. I then remember you, you came back then another time. I think it was about a month after that, and we ended up having a good lunch. And
Correct.
yeah, and then from the reason why I like your project so much is that there's a great deal of synergies between your project, right? Between Hidden Treasure Via and Spa Resort and my fund with Worthy Domes. And the purpose of today's show here on YouTube is to bring more domes into your resort. So
Correct.
those domes will come from me. I'll make sure that they'll get shipped directly to you, and it'll be almost like a turnkey, like a hotel. There will be solar at the top. When it rains, that water will collect. It'd be a compost toilet as well. And then when it just gets arrived and a crane kind of goes like this and places it on there, everything will be on the inside from a bed to the furniture. It's like a hotel. So the objective is to have about 15 to 20 of our domes. And in addition to that, I think you'll talk about a few of the units you have on there as well. And
Right.
then I'd also like you to talk about where the real profit on this is. And for those of you, when you look at Barrington's business plan, the numbers they're impressive numbers. And our analyst that works for me, Donna, put those together. And her background is she's also a CPA. So she made the numbers very conservative and then made them even more conservative after that. So on that note, the other thing I want to mention about you is that you are a former veteran, as an Army officer in the military. You did a lot of work doing with peace. Also, am I saying the right word? What is it called? Peacekeeping.
No, you're not. You're not. So yeah, I did went on some peacekeeping operations. I was in
That's what it
Bosnia
was.
and Egypt, and I also served in combat in OIF, Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom.
Got it. Well, you
So
go ahead and take it from there. That's your introduction. Why don't you just talk about a little bit about kind of where you've been with the project, where you are today, and anything else that you feel would be beneficial. Obviously, the numbers look really good on your project. So go ahead, Barry. I think people would rather hear from you.
right. All right. So just to refresh Reagan's my background on myself, I did
Please.
serve over 24 years in the Army, and I did serve, different. Um, Most of my time was in Germany, so I did serve extensively in Germany, overseas, and then also went to Iraq, Afghanistan. I've been to Bosnia, Kosovo, Egypt. So been around for a little bit.
Yes, you have.
After separating from the military, I did go into the financial world. So I kind of stayed on and then advised financially our military members to kind of start saving and starting up their investment, their
Hmm.
IRAs and that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I did do some stuff in the financial arena, but then I acquired some property here in Jamaica. So I'm sitting on a 6.5 acre piece of land, and that's where I want to build out. And also in 2015, the island, they legalized medicinal marijuana. So the consumption, so recreational marijuana is legalized, and you are allowed to have in possession at least 2 grams of marijuana on you without having to face any legal ramifications.
Yeah.
So that, um, getting aware of that, and having the ability to start it, because it
Hmm.
comes with, you have to apply for the license to grow,
Sure.
and also to have the recreational facilities. So you have to go through the licensing process, because the cannabis licensing authority, the CLA, actually
Uh-huh.
controls that. So it has to have a control mechanism.
Wow.
Um, just to give a background on our production, we weren't able to. We had to actually like import um, cannabis from Canada last year just to fill our commitment. So we can't get enough growers into the business because of the funding, and that's what keeps a lot of people from starting. And as you know, Jamaica produces one of the best strand of marijuana. So we are the original
Yes.
of
You guys are the OGs.
yeah, we're the OGs of the cannabis thing. But
Yeah.
what I wanted to bring to that is that a lot of people, we're not capitalizing on the tourists. Like, a lot of people come here because of that. So if I figure out that if I could get a resort where you know I build, uh kind of tied it to tourism,
Okay.
that would afford me the opportunity to start something new.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the cannabis tourism is a new thing. It's not up and running yet. So that's
Barry,
why.
are you? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Are you finding that it's more people from Europe? Because I know here in Florida and South Florida, you get a lot of the Europeans that come, and sometimes they take 1 month vacations. Or is it more of the Americans that are coming, Barry?
So there is a lot of Europeans that come. We find more Europeans come for that purpose
Uh
to the
huh.
island, and also the Canadians. So there are a lot of
Oh,
North Americans that are coming down to participate in the cannabis tourism. So they do come, and of course we do ship. We do a lot of shipment. We just opened a market to Germany, because they don't produce a lot there in Germany. So we are actually going to start exporting to the German market. So that's going to put another demand, because our main exporters were Canada and the US.
uh
So
huh.
we do a lot of bilateral cannabis kind of training with Denver, with the Colorado and California. So a lot of if you go through the industry at the moment, a lot of the Californians and Canadians are actually the master growers, are actually coming from those areas into Jamaica to assist with the master growers in Jamaica. And we do have quite a lot of master growers that are here that are qualified. So we trying to keep it in house and trying to expand on our culture and take advantage, monetize our culture versus someone else coming in and monetizing it for us. So that's
Awesome.
where I come in, and I wanted to, be an influence in that. So to give you a background on the cannabis industry here in Jamaica, the Marley family is one of the biggest growers. So they're heavily involved in that. Of course, it's part of their
Sure.
legacy,
Yeah.
that Bob Marley and with the cannabis and all of that. So yes,
Hmm.
they are heavily involved in it, and they're definitely doing their thing. So that's the intent, and the overall goal of my objective is to get into that space
I
and
think
try to monetize and get some of that profit.
And I've never heard this term, but I was just looking it up at a cannabis tourism. So people actually go to destinations to incorporate in marijuana in their tour and in what they are going to see. So it's the place, which is Jamaica, and it's beautiful. You have these awesome domes that we're going to learn about in a little bit here. And then you also have, some of the best product, the cannabis product that you can find, and even CBD oils is eventually what you're working into, right?
Correct. So they'll actually come, and they'll actually not only experience the recreational side of the marijuana, but they also experience the medicinal side of it, and they'll
Mm.
also be afforded the opportunity to take like get massages, do
The spa side,
aroma,
the
yeah, the spa
resort. Oh
side,
my
right?
goodness. So you're mixing
Aromatherapy,
in rest and
right,
relaxation and
exactly.
recovery.
Right. And to get kind of a natural, so we can actually blend it with the health tourism, because we also have natural doctors that are able to make an assessment of them. So when they come, if they're there for 2 weeks, they can get an actual visual assessment of their entire system. And there are things out there, there are programs, doctors out there that actually does that. And then they will recommend natural remedies with the cannabis products to heal them and cure them, or to get them on the right track
That's
and
Yeah.
recover their body.
wonderful. Oh, it
So
was amazing
that,
vision that you
yeah,
have for sure.
right. So that's where it's at. And I'm currently, I have one unit on
Oh, yes.
the property that
Yes.
we're currently Airbnb in, and we're talking to folks that comes there. A lot of people come there currently, through Airbnb, through the different OTA sites, and they actually get to relax and enjoy the tranquility, the serenity of the area. And then they also get to consume marijuana, in a recreational manner.
So proof of
And
concept
they're
right there.
right, and
Right.
they're like, they love it. They're like, hey, whenever you up and running, let me know, because I'll be back. So
Well, and
you
I'm sure
know
people are wondering when we talk about worthy domes, what is this like? And so Regan's gonna talk a little bit more about worthy domes and what they look like, and we'll show you some that you have around, right, Regan?
Yeah. Actually, you know what I just thought of? I know we didn't, it's just something that just hit me right now. What if you show our page because it has Barry's business plan on there?
Yes,
Then we'll
no
go into
problem.
that. And Barry, was there something else you wanted to add or mention?
um just to look at from an environmental
Mhm.
standpoint,
Yes.
that we're trying to use environmentally friendly products. We're trying to keep the ecotourism in the area. So we're not trying to get modernized, with it's ecotourism with modern facilities and
Sure.
modern, like you have Wi-Fi. You're not going to be
Oh,
disconnected
that's
from anywhere.
important.
Right. That's the key right there. So we're actually using, solar energy.
Oh,
And we
yes.
wanted to be where, when we build out the project, that all of our facilities are operated and run by solar, because
Beautiful.
people in Jamaica, if you know anything about Jamaica and the investments there, we only have one power company. And when that power company disrupt your power supply, it's kind of get ugly. But
Yep.
we have the natural sun. We have 365 days of sunshine. So why are we not, taking advantage and capitalizing on that? So I
Yes.
wanted to build out the project with the solar intent. So it should be
Beautiful.
powered entirely by solar.
I know when we were in Hawaii, same problem. There's only so much power you can get on the island. So I am going to show how you can look at all this information. If you go to Fifth Avenue, so it's fifthaavc.com. The portfolio tab has Reagan's portfolio, but here's Hidden Treasure Villa and Spa. So you can click on the offering, and Reagan will talk more about what they're trying to raise, but you can see here is a PDF.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and show the actual business plan. So click where the PDF is. So on most of the projects, you notice that we don't reveal the whole business plan and we just have the pitch deck. On this one, we do, because I want them to see the numbers, the profitability. And here's what else. You can't copy this. You know what I mean? So we're not stuck because it's in this location. So unless you want to buy this beachfront property, keep going. Yeah, I want it. Look, that's what I want them to see.
Yes.
That he's got the best beachfront property in Jamaica. This area, that Treasure Island, is known, or very well known, in that it's one of the best places there on the beach, isn't it, Barry?
Yes. Treasure Beach is one of the better, more eco-friendly, natural beach. And just for the investors out there, this is one of the beaches that are actually still available to be used for usage by the local community.
Wow.
So we're not blocked off, so we're not trying to, getting and like blocked anybody from participating, like most of the other, but like the North Coast. On the North Coast, the all-inclusives are actually blocking the beach access from the local population. So
it's an early opportunity here, and you have this property, and you already have. So what a great opportunity. And if you have questions about, so where I was here is on the Fifth Avenue website. You can view you can download the PDF. You can also click on the Invest Now. Do you want me to go through that right now, Reagan?
Yeah,
and then we'll talk more about I just want to make sure they know, but we do want to go through the Worthy Dome so we can explain what that looks like. I did not know until today. Reagan showed me these things are amazing, and you have them already in production well, not everywhere. They should be everywhere.
Thank you. God bless you for that comment.
But right now where we are, if you hit Invest Now, it actually opens into the community Fairmont portal. And if you want to talk a little bit about this after I show them how, if you click sign up and you put your email in, it's going to send you a code to your email so that you can get in the back end. That's as simple as it is. So it's a 2-step verification, and then you can get in the back and find out more about how, what this investment opportunity is, because that's not all on the website. It's behind this Fairmont portal.
Thank you. I'm glad you brought that up, Tessa. And then if you guys see, this is for my Domes Fund. So let me be clear on why we're doing that. If you choose to go there and invest, your dollars will go to a dome that will then go on Airbnb and will rent out at about $150 a night. So if that's 30 days, you're looking at $4,500 a month.
Beautiful.
Now, if you want to invest in the cannabis side, we're 3 to 4 days away, maybe 5 to 7 business days away from your fund, Barry, being live. So we don't want to commingle things. The domes will go there, but then Barry's hedge fund that he's got, or cafe fund, will be up and ready in about 5 to 7 days. And that way you can also have equity on the cannabis side of things as well.
Side.
More profitable. Yeah.
But we don't want to keep the suspense for what Worthy Domes looks like and how cool these are.
So that's the other thing. It costs money. If not, I would have these domes shipped. So although this was my project, I don't manufacture them. I don't own a manufacturing plant. So keep in mind, I don't make as much of a profit on these as people think. You have to get plastic from the ocean, as you see on step 1, that we get that collected. We then have to recycle it, which is step 2. We then melt it. We then build these domes, these homes. So scroll below and then maybe
Yes.
give an example. Yeah, click on the first one for me, please.
Yes, this is the part that I was so surprised. This is very cool. They
Yeah.
are energy efficient, like you mentioned, solar power. I mean, they're designed to have the minimal footprint possible, to affect our planet, obviously. But this is fascinating. So they're growing grass or whatever, ivy,
or weed. With
Or
his, he might
weed.
have actual cannabis on the top.
How fun is that? You're just
Yeah,
going to
you're
stay
telling
in
me.
a house that has it all over. Just fascinating. But you actually, it's a
Show another
recycled
picture.
building. Yeah, and the outside looks fascinating, but you guys are going to be really surprised by the inside and how beautiful these are. So
That
this
one's
is actually on a golf.
Yeah, it's not a golf course. It's a driving range. So people use those. What they'll use it for is maybe on a Friday. The family, they bring the children, the wife, they stay in there, or they have food, and then he's hitting the driving range, and they might stay there that night or that weekend. So
Fun.
that one's for it. Go ahead and scroll to the next one, please, Tessa.
Now this just puts into perspective how big they are too. People standing on top.
Yeah, you can make them as big as you want, as tall and as what, because they come together like Legos. What I like about that one is that gentleman put ivy on his instead of grass. And as you know, ivy just grows like ivy.
Yeah, all very easy.
And then that one has grass. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then go ahead and go to the next one.
That
Those
was-
bags, I want to talk about that.
Yes.
That is just for more insulation that we add. And what that is inside of that is actual earth that has seeds that then grass will grow.
Oh.
And so those little bags, they're about this big, right? Almost think of it like a brick. And so the women that sew those bags are women that before had been sex trafficked. And now they have a job. And that job is that when they sew those, they make money on each one that they do. And as I've talked with some of these young women, they feel really good about what they do, knowing that the work that they do goes to provide shelter for people.
That's amazing. Oh, well, I'm learning so much about this here. I know we have one that I'm going to get to here again. Grass.
Yeah, I want to see
This is
the inside.
Inside, yes.
I want to talk on that because you talked about how well insulated they are. If you look at the inside, what that is it's very similar to the inside of your refrigerator. If you open up your refrigerator, the difference is your fridge only has about this much of polyurethane. We make them 6 inches thick.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So when you think about even your stove, Tessa, when you turn it on at 400 degrees, does it heat your entire home? No, of course not. Now, if you stand in front of it, you'll feel a little bit of heat. You know why? Because the stove has about that much of polyurea, but ours are 6 inches. So they're not going to get hotter than 75 degrees. They're not going to get colder than 69, even ones that are in Canada.
Wow. Oh, it's amazing. And I thought this was just very futuristic. I work with a lot of inventors and I was like, this doesn't actually exist, but it does. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go see one in person. But very, it's very futuristic design, but simple and easy to work within. A lot of the domes that I've seen buildings, it's difficult to plan a room around. This looks very easy to plan a room around because you have flat spaces, but you have real walls, not just round. So this is fascinating. Again, just gorgeous inside, and this shot is really what relates to the treasure, this resort, right? So you're thinking like this type of thing.
That is the first one that I want to get into Hidden Treasure via and Spa Resort. But by the way, I know that we were at 12:25. I don't know if you want to get to the questions. I just now looked at one of them from Angeline that I know very well. I think you may know her as well, Barry. She's actually from Jamaica. and is a close friend of mine. Go ahead and
Oh.
read that question there. 'Cause
Yes. Where in Jamaica is the resort to be built?
So it's actually going to be built in Treasure Beach. So Treasure Beach is on in Saint Elizabeth on the southern coast. The next, it borders Mandeville, Manchester, which is it's close to Mandeville. It's about an hour from Mandeville, and then it's also about an hour and 10 minutes from Negril, which is in Westmoreland. So we're Saint Elizabeth is bordered between Westmoreland and also Manchester. So it's in the Treasure Beach area. So just to give a lot of folks, because a lot of even Jamaicans are unaware that Treasure Beach is not actually a specific area called Treasure Beach. So Treasure Beach is where Treasure Beach is made up of 5 bays. So it's 5 bays that makes up the area that's called Treasure Beach, and it's historically a predominant fishing village, but it's also where the famous Jake's Hotel is currently there.
So
And
5 bays, these 5 bays, right?
correct,
Great
Great
Bay,
Bay,
Billy Bay. Yeah.
Billy's Bay, Frenchman Bay, um, Calabash Bay, and Fort Charles Bay.
These,
So
got it.
the villa will be the resort will be built in Fort Charles Bay, which
Beautiful.
is the last developing bay. But if just to give a background of Fort Charles is actually up and coming. So it's one of the fastest growing areas, micro area within Jamaica. So St. Elizabeth and Treasure Beach in particular is the fastest growing area with the most developments in Jamaica at the moment, and
Wow.
Fort Charles is leading that development. So if you go into Fort Charles now, you see a lot of villas and resort type buildings that are going up in that area. So it's
That's
it's
awesome.
really a developing and up and coming. So us getting in there now is actually getting in at the right time to seize the opportunity of the market. So that's
Beautiful.
that's where that's where the resort will be built in Treasure Beach, Saint Elizabeth, Jamaica.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think Gerald asked a question, and Regan, if you haven't already specified, I think you've told us a
Yeah,
lot
I'm
about what you
looking.
love.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm looking at it too. If you don't mind, why don't we do Arya's question
Oh,
first, and
sure,
then
sure.
we'll get to
Yes,
Gerald's, please.
absolutely. So, I know you to be such a wordsmith. Would you be so kind as to describe your own words what Hidden Treasure Villa Spa and Resort is?
Wow. Thank you, Arya. When he said, "Would you be so kind?" Who does that sound like? Who writes that way, Tessa?
Right.
You
I know,
know,
and I read it wrong, so bear with me. Thank you, Aria, for writing it so beautifully, and I butcher it, but that's exactly
they say emulation is the most sincere form of flattery. So
right.
I appreciated that. Okay. Imagine bringing your home around the world with you, waking up, pouring your coffee, answering your emails while gazing at the billion-dollar view of the sparkling coast. Oh, that was
That's
just a dramatic
perfect.
pause. I'm not done. Hold on. Or maybe, yeah. Or maybe you just laze around your villa or worthy dome, ordering room service, reading a book, then a long lunch with friends, a swim in the sunshine. And I remember, Barry, you also told me massage. You guys will be doing massages with CBD oil. So maybe
Yes,
also get a massage.
there'll be spas on site. Yes.
Nice. So enjoy that massage, maybe even go for a workout before enjoying the herbs that are natural from the ground, that is a plant that God brought us as the sun slowly sinks behind the horizon. So, how about that for my wordsmith
I want to
there.
go already. I'm ready. And apparently Douglas thinks so too. It's an
What
awesome
did Doug
concept for
put
the
Doug on
spa.
there? What did he put?
He said it's a really awesome concept for the spa resort. It sounds like a great place to relax. Absolutely.
I'm
And
going
I
to
know
talk on
that
that because
very
I know
unique and
Doug well.
interesting.
Yeah, I wanted to talk on that. Doug is also a client of mine, and he has a project called Adapt Sports. So we will get him on here soon as well. Doug also happens to attend a Bible study that I lead and kind of a prayer group. And yesterday we kind of brought up the concept of what this project's about. So for all of my overly legalistic friends out there that think that Jesus and cannabis do not go together, let me say this. Genesis chapter 1, verse 29 says, and God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. There's also another one, Genesis 9, I believe it's verse 3. It says, every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things.
Wow, I didn't know about these. And, obviously, Regan, I try to spend a lot of time in the Bible. So I have to write those ones down. That's awesome. Thank
So
you. And
now we'll get to Gerald's question.
yes. Well, actually, Gerald was asking, can you tell us more about Hidden Valley or Hidden Treasure Villa? But I think you've covered a lot. If there's anything else you want to add, of course, you can add it in before we have to go. I mean, it's green. There's all these benefits.
Yeah. Here's what I
So-
like about Hidden Treasure Villa and Spa Resort. However it is that you choose to spend your day, you will have a safe and engaging way to enjoy the entire island at your leisure with like-minded residential community, all from the comfort of your dome. A life of everything you could want to experience while the world slowly floats by your front door.
That's awesome.
Good way to put it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
Beautiful.
we wanna let them know that at the resort, we're trying to develop a total body concept where you're getting a mind, body, and soul renovation. So it's not that you come there and you're there for 2 days and then you're gone. No, that's not what the approach we're looking for. We want you to come and we want you to get your mind, your body, and your soul back into a functional state where you can come back to to wherever you visit from, and especially in the hustles and bustles of North America and Europe, and then feel that you have actually done some remaking of your body in essence is what you're doing, because
Beautiful.
you're in an environment where you're tearing down your body, so you have to take a time out to rebuild it. So we want to make Hidden Treasure Villa, the resort, is that place where you come and rebuild. So you get a total body concept of what's wrong with your body and what's wrong with your mind when you get there. And when you leave, we're hoping that you're on the path of recovery. So you're on a recovery mission. So
That's wonderful.
we have to look at it that way, because that's what we want to give back to the investing world, is where
Mhm.
you're actually helping people to recover and get back into a better state, so that they can maybe extend their lives. And we have natural doctors that are actually going to be on site to do that for them when they come in. So they'll come in and they'll get an initial assessment of where their body and their mind is, and then we'll take it from there of repairing and recovering it for them. So
Wonderful.
we're also going to have different meditation exercises. So they're
Oh,
going to be yoga, active yogas there. We're
hmm.
going to have the spa, and we're going to also have some dietitians that are actually going to teach them how to eat, how to use the herbs and cannabis, to an extent to where they can use it to their benefit of the body. So that's
Thank
gonna
you.
be there for them. So they're gonna
Beautiful.
get a total body makeover.
Wonderful. Well, I want to
Great.
go.
Yeah.
And Regan, is there anything else that you want to go over? I know we're at the end of our time because we want to
We are
keep
at
these
the
short
end.
for you.
Yeah, just one thing because it just went into
Yes.
my mind just now. It just kind of popped into my mind while Barry was talking. I don't know if either of you have ever seen that movie. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Have you ever seen that? It's the story of Walter. Have you seen it, Tessa?
I have not.
No, I've not seen it either.
Yeah, it's this story. This guy, Walter, he's a dreamer. It's played by Ben Stiller. Actually, that's an understatement. This guy, Walter, he disappears inside of himself, imagining that he's
Oh,
like
he's
living this,
experiencing.
this
Yes,
super
I know which one you're.
interesting.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
fun. It's like a superhero like life, right?
Yes.
Yet the reality is quite the opposite because he's never left his home country of the United States, and he has this cushy office job for most of his adult life. But then what happens is my memory serves me, there's this new management comes in and his job is threatened. So Walter is then forced to step outside of his comfort zone and embark on a kind of travel adventure that took him to, I think it was Greenland, and I think other, off the beaten path I think it was also, what was the other place he went? Afghanistan, Himalayas, something like that, right? What I like best, though, is that Walter experiences what you talked about, Barry, personal growth like never before, right? What this vacation allowed him to do is not only win this girl, but get the best send off for his job. So I was just thinking to myself, if only there were more movies like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Although Mitty travels to Greenland, I said Afghanistan, I think the Himalayas, they show what I like about it is that it's a character driven study that demonstrates the benefits that come from stepping outside of your comfort zone to travel for both professional and personal growth.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so
Awesome.
much
Yeah.
for being here, Barry. We appreciate you. And if you do have any questions, I am going to put the link in the chat for the portfolio to go straight to the portfolio, and you'll be able to click through and let Reagan know. Just put in comments if you have questions about how to get involved, how to invest, how to become a strategic partner. Reagan's the one to talk. Well, obviously, you can go to either of these lovely gentlemen here.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
And Regan, did you want to send
Yeah.
us off with a final thought?
Oh, my final thought was that story.
You're
I'm
like, I
done.
got it. I do this sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you have another one? And they're like, really, Tessa? I just came up with that amazing
No,
story and
it's
you want more. I don't know. No. It's perfect. It's a perfect final thought. So we'll see you guys next week. We do this every Friday at noon. And if you want to get reminders, just hit the reminder bell and subscribe to the channel. It'll let you know. And you can join us live in the chat. And I'm so sorry, Jimmy, I just saw your comment. So I'll have these gentlemen kind of get back to you if there's any details on that. But we love having you live with us. So we'd love to see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.